Hello everyone, this is Mohan Raghavan, and today we are going to see what are the data types available inside the Go language. As you know that there may be a lot of data types, but we are going to discuss some of the data types in this video, which is nothing but integer and then float. If you consider the Go language, it has data types such as integers, float, string, boolean, arrays, slices, and maps in general. So integer in the sense it's the normal numeric values. In case of float, it will be having the decimal point at very high level. You can understand like that. And after that string, it is the very frequently used the data type. And after that boolean, either it can be true or false. Arrays, it's kind of same data type which will have the indexes. And slices also similar to the arrays, but which it can extend its limit or it can dynamically get the size. And maps, obviously, it will be having the key and its value pair. So these are the data types available in the Go language. And today we are going to see what is integer and what is float. As we already discussed very high level at the integers, it will be the numeric value without any decimal points. But however, you will be having the different kinds of data types available inside the Go language. And this will be majorly considered as architecture independent integer types. Another one is implementation integer types. So implementation specific integer types means you will be having the types based on the where you are compiling your code. So first we will see about architecture independent integer types. So that means that you are very specific about the bits or bytes what you are going to use it so that you can directly mention the bits as well. So for that reason you will be having the unsigned integer 8 as the first one. So wherever you see the prefix as u that means unsigned. So where you will not have any negative numbers. Wherever you are not seeing the unsigned or not a prefix like u, then you will be having the minus sign as well. In both category, you will be having the range. So the first four you can see unsigned. So that's why you are seeing only the starting range will be 0 and the ending will be depends on the bits you have. For example, first one has 8 bit. So 2 power 8 will be having a 256. So you are having 255. The same way you can consider for the other bits as well. So if you know about the system very well, what the system you are going to work on that and what is the running mechanism, or let's say the core processor, or let's say what are the bits it has. So based on that, you will be choosing it is bits. For example, 16-bit, 32-bit, and 64-bit and 8-bit. Majorly, we are using the 64-bit nowadays, so you don't need to worry about that one. And after that, integer with unsigned. So that means that you will be having signed integer, so you can have sign itself. So that means that you can have the sign which is nothing but your minus symbol, so that you can have the range between minus to positive. So that's the reason same thing you can have 256 divided by 2, then you will be having in the range. So that means that half of the value which you saw in the previous, that will be given to the negative side and positive will be given in the positive side. The same way you can have the different ranges. So based on our requirement, we can choose any data types, but this one is like architecture independent. So that means that whenever you choose this one, you need to mention that 32 bit means it will run on only on 32 bits. If it is 64, it will be running only on the 64 bit. Then after that, we will be having the alias name. So wherever you find unsigned integer 8, you can call it as a byte directly, or integer 32, you can call it as a rune. So we are going to see the rune data type in detail in the coming videos, but we can understand it is just like alias for integer 32. Next one, implementation specific type. So that means that it is unsigned either 32 bits or 64 bits. Here you can see the word called R. So that means that you can compile. Let's say if you are compiling your code on 32 bit, it will become like a 32 bit. If you are compiling at 64 bit system, it will be considered as a 64 bit. So that's why it is implementation specific types. That means that wherever you are implementing or wherever you are compiling your code based on the bits available in your system, based on that it will generate 32 bit or 64 bit. Generally, you will be using the in variable or in data type generally. Then after we have the floats again. So floats you can see considerably 32-bit and 64-bit. So it is just like with the decimal point. So based on the precision you want, you can choose either 32 or 64-bit. Then after you will be having the complex number, which is rarely used. It will have real and imaginary parts. So now so far we have seen some of the details, but we will see just how to see these data types. For example, you can see the data types by using the FMT. Inside that we can use the percentage %t so that we can see the data type for that, or you can use the reflect module. The reflect module will give the type of the variable what you are going to discuss. For instance, here you can see A is the variable, B is the variable, and C is the variable, which will be having integer 32-bit and float 32-bit respectively. In our case, we have used the type conversion, but however, we will detailedly discuss about the type conversion in the coming videos. For simplicity, you can consider there are three variables unknown to you, but you want to see the type of that variable. Either you can go with the FMT with the percentage %t, which is placeholder, or you can go with the reflect module. So if you are not concerned about, or let's say if you are not knowing about all this, what are the different placeholders, you can directly go to the documentation, this golang.org/pkg/fmt, so that you can see all the different formats that you can use it for the different areas. For example, we are using here t, so Go syntax representation, the type of the value. The same if you want to get the value as it is, so you can use the %v. So these are the different ways you can use the formatting. Now let's go to this syntax again. So first one is you are going to represent with the type of that a variable. The same way another one you are going to get the value. The value is nothing but the reflect dot type of. So that means that from the reflect module you are using the type of, and it will be having the argument as b. So that means that it will be giving output as a, which is the type of the b variable. In our case, it should be integer 32. For simplicity, we have mentioned here. But in case if you are directly validating somewhere in the logical condition, that time you may be using this reflect module. So now we have seen what is the code syntax here. Let's execute and see. And here you can see type is integer 32, float 32. So that means that it is coming correctly integer 32 and float 32. So in this way, either you can use it is just like a display format, then you can use the %t, or if it is just like you are going to analyze or just make some logical conditions, so that time you can use the reflect module. So this is about integers and float. So for coming videos, we will be seeing on the upcoming data types. So thanks for watching and have a great day.